From above, the Solomon Islands have the look of unspoiled tropical paradise. A seemingly ideal destination for adventurous travelers seeking an uncommon experience. But look closer. The jungle canopy conceals a past drenched in blood. From ancient headhunters and cannibals to bitter ethnic violence and civil strife, to thousands of American soldiers who died at the Battle of Guadalcanal during World War II. Given that history, it's no surprise that the Solomons today are notorious on a very different front. As a major crossroads for the blood trade in wild dolphins.
The first time I came here, it was quite dangerous. You know, you're always looking over your shoulder here and wondering who's following you, who's watching you. It's a difficult place to work.
Rick O'Barry is no ordinary activist. The star of the Oscar-winning film The Cove, O'Barry is a legend in the captive dolphin industry.
It's all about respect now, not exploitation.
During the 1960s, he worked at Miami Seaquarium and trained Flipper for the hit TV series. But after Flipper died in captivity, Rick turned from exploiter to defender.
Behind us, private island. And here comes the data.
Now, a mission to the Solomon Islands presents one of Rick's most daunting challenges ever. Live dolphin export is both legal and lucrative here. In recent years, at least 100 dolphins have been exported to sea parks and swim programs from Mexico to Dubai, fetching prices up to $200,000 an animal. The spark for Rick's latest mission comes from an unlikely source. A dolphin dealer named Chris Porter, who says he has reformed and turned against the captive industry. The live trade thrives here, in part, thanks to an ancient tribal tradition of dolphin hunting, a legal practice in the Solomons. The dealers depend on the indigenous hunters to help supply dolphins. For Rick, it's simple cause and effect. Stop the hunt, and the trade will wither away.
We want to create jobs for these people. Dolphins are important, but people are important too. The best solution is to find sustainable alternatives. Find ways for these folks to make a decent living.
Negotiating a hunting moratorium with the dolphin villages will be a delicate undertaking for Rick and his most trusted lieutenant, his son Lincoln, an activist and filmmaker who has worked alongside his father for years.
We're going to be in the middle of nowhere with all our gear and sleeping on the floor in these villages, and hopefully we're not seen as the enemy. It's really a pins and needles kind of finesse thing.
In a place where live dolphins are worth their weight in gold and dolphin teeth are valued as currency, the O'Barry's latest operation will be an uphill struggle. Not just to save dolphins, but to capture hearts and minds.
I don't sit at the right-hand side of God and have the answers to all of these problems. But I know it's wrong. And when this level of cruelty is absolute, we all should be doing everything absolutely to stop it.
Call me whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Whatever sells newspapers and sells TV series. I'm the monster in activist heads. Everyone thinks I'm the worst man on earth for dolphins. I'm the one who catches them all, and I'm the greedy one, and I'm the exploiter. And just as children, they've created their own monster in their heads.
You might say Chris Porter is something of a walking contradiction. A former trainer at Canada's Vancouver Seaquarium turned dealer, A man who believes he and others like him have actually saved dolphins by capturing them and shipping them to dolphinariums around the world.
They call it conservation. I call it something else. You don't know what dolphins are in the wild by watching them in captivity. There is no connection between these dolphin shows and conservation. So the real solution to the problem is don't buy a ticket. What they're selling is a close, hands-on encounter with an exotic creature for $100 a pop. Sounds a lot like prostitution, and yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they're a bunch of pimps.
Rick O'Barry and Chris Porter are hardly strangers. They've clashed before over Porter's business dealings.
My job is to stop the trafficking captive dolphins. You are a trafficker.
But recently, a surprising turnabout. Porter has reached out to his old adversary, claiming he is prepared to abandon the trade and that he intends to release a pod of 17 dolphins, currently held captive at his enclave on Gavutu Island. He's even launched a website called Free the Pod to raise money. Rick remains skeptical.
I don't know what his plan is. I haven't talked to him yet. I'm going to find out the details of that. If he really wants to free them, I'll help him. But he's still a dolphin dealer. That's what he does.
He's the one that has introduced exporting dolphins to the Solomon Islands, and since then it's just gotten completely out of control. 30, 40 years ago, that was my father, and he had that moment of epiphany where he changed.
I look at him and I see myself years ago. I used to be Chris Porter. I used to capture dolphins and train them. I turned around, and I think the potential for him turning around is there.
If Porter's change of heart is real, it's a golden opportunity for Rick O'Barry. His mission begins at Berkeley, California's Earth Island Institute, where Rick serves as marine mammal specialist. Earth Island will play a pivotal role in negotiations with the dolphin hunting villages.
Well, the latest is I just got an email from Christopher Porter. If we can get him to agree that when the dolphins are released back into the wild, there are no more captures. It's a huge victory.
We don't know how much of this we can trust.
It could be a publicity stunt, but also we have to, let's let him do it.
It also could be a trap. I mean, this is a very, very dangerous place to operate. If we can stop this location, we have the potential to unravel the dolphin trade. I mean, it's not the only spot, but it is one of the primary spots that is driving the dolphin trade.
The first step of the mission falls to Lincoln. He and a cameraman head for the Solomons, posing as old friends on a globe-trekking holiday. Lincoln's job is to assess the current state of the dolphin trade and to serve as his father's go-between with Chris Porter.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Honiara Airport. Local time is approaching 10 minutes to 2.
Well, Lincoln came first because they don't know what he looks like. So Lincoln can go undercover and do things I can't do. Now, I really didn't want him to do this work. It's a sort of a double-edged sword. I have a lot of different emotions of exposing Lincoln to that danger. The danger is very real.
Lincoln's first contact is Lawrence McKilley, a longtime activist who has worked with Rick in the past. It's Lawrence's job to brief Lincoln on the players and get him acclimated to the culture before Lincoln sets off on his own.
Lawrence is somebody who works for the EII, Earth Island Institute. He works here in the South Pacific, and he does a lot of the dolphin issues. He's hardcore.
Lawrence knows the Solomons inside and out. Though this tiny nation encompasses nearly 1,000 small islands, the O'Barry focus is limited to just 3. Guadalcanal, site of the famous battle and home to the capital city, Honiara. Gavutu, the hub of Chris Porter's operation, and Malaita, where most of the dolphin hunting now occurs.
It is not safe enough for an outsider to come, so we have to be careful on how we deal with the issue. Lincoln need to learn about complexity of the dolphin trade here in the Solomon Islands and who's involved with the dolphin trade. You got to know who you're dealing with. This is where Robert Sato lives. This is the village. And this is where Chris Porter lives as well.
Robert Satu and Chris Porter, two men Lincoln is desperate to meet. Satu, an indigenous chief, is Porter's local partner. Originally from Malaita, Satu's current village outside Honiara provided many of the dolphins exported by Porter. Like Rick O'Barry, Lawrence has a wait-and-see attitude about Porter's conversion. His caution is based on years of vocal opposition to the dolphin trade.
Everyone seems to know you here. They all know your car. Do you ever have problems with that? Like people...
I do.
A lot of enemies?
Yes. They really want to know where I go, what do I know, what I do. Every single person in the city knows this car belongs to Lawrence.
So you think to go into town, you think you want to change vehicles?
Yeah, we have to shift the cars.
During the car switch, Lincoln gets his first reality check.
What's that for?
It's a bush knife. It's for my safety.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you ever had to use it on anyone?
Not yet, but it'll come a time.
Because I was told when you come to the Solomons, don't be too scared if you see a group of like 20 guys walking towards you and they're all holding machetes. Everyone seems to have a machete here.
Gotta be careful wherever you go and where.
Why, has there been a problem in the past?
Of course, I was bitten almost to death.
Day one of Lincoln O'Barry's recon mission has been eye-opening, and dolphin activist Lawrence McKilley has done nothing to soft-pedal the potential dangers. On August 19, 2008, Lawrence was attacked in his front yard by unknown assailants that he believes were hired by a dolphin dealer.
They hit me at the back of my head and I was unconscious, so they dragged me and pulled me into a boot of a car.
Lawrence was then driven to a remote area, severely beaten, and left for dead.
I've got a broken arm, swollen face. I've got a facial bone, fractured.
The dolphins bring out the best and the worst in people. So if you're a dolphin dealer and someone like us gets in your way, it can be dangerous. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and they play rough.
It's another reality check for Lincoln. No one has ever been arrested for the attack, and Lawrence is convinced they'll be back.
I believe that one day they're going to kill me, but I'm willing to die for my cause because I believe in what I do. I believe that capturing dolphins is wrong. Exporting them is wrong. They belong to the wild.
For 2 days, Lincoln hangs on every word Lawrence says, absorbing any scrap of useful knowledge. The crash course complete, necessity dictates that Lincoln and Lawrence part ways. An open association with such a well-known activist will hinder Lincoln's ability to gather information.
In the midst, that's where Gavutu Island is. Where also Chris Porter, built his fence.
There's parts of this island and certain villages he can't even go to. I was even careful just to even be around him on this island because I really wanted to explore the whole dolphin story, and I think if I was with him, I would just get one side. A lot of people would shut me out.
Now on their own, Lincoln and his cameraman commence the approach to Chris Porter. Step one is reaching out to Chief Robert Satu, Porter's local partner. Satu agrees to a meeting.
I don't want to give away it.
Right.
I have to keep
it special.
Keep a special.
Like Chris Porter, Robert Satu says he is prepared to give up the dolphin trade. But there's a catch. He will only stop if he can replace the money it brings to his impoverished village.
And this idea brings money, or?
Those are his dolphins, and he doesn't understand how there's going to be money made from freeing the pod.
So who came up with the idea for the release?
Chris.
Chris?
Yeah.
Free the pod.
Free the pod, so that the people outside of the world, they pay us when they come and saw the dolphins release and swim with them in the open sea, then they're going to pay us.
Right, yeah.
That was his idea. I'm still waiting for him to come and,
explain this idea.
Explain this idea again to me.
The Satu meeting brings Lincoln one step closer to Porter. But unexpectedly, it also launches a secondary mission. Out of earshot of the camera, Satu tips Lincoln to check out a dolphin operation near his hotel. The dolphins there, he says, may be dying. They'll come to be known as the Hanayara Dolphins. Lincoln immediately contacts his father with the news. Rick recommends that he try to film the facility.
Trying to find a shirt we can hide a camera in so we can rig up some surveillance. I think these will work.
New things happen all the time. Things keep changing, and you've got to be flexible. Sometimes you go in there and then there's nothing you can do. You can't do a rescue. So the best you can do is document it and at least get the word out.
So what we're attempting to do here is attach this button cam into one of these shirts that we just bought at the market. This is the fun part.
Yeah.
It's a cloak and dagger.
We have to make the cloak, though. Hopefully you don't get daggered.
Exactly.
Check, 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 check. How we looking?
Going undercover is always risky. It gets real personal when it's your son. He's a young guy. I worry that he might push the envelope, do something that's going to get him in trouble. I taught him the best I could, and that's all you can do.
Counter surveillance, take one. Dolphin.
Lincoln poses as a tourist looking to rent a boat.
They do here? The mechanic? Yeah. Swimming pool. That's nice.
Dolphin.
Dolphins?
Yeah.
You can swim with them or no?
Yeah.
They let people swim?
Yeah.
Can I see?
Yeah.
In addition to the hidden button cam, Lincoln carries a palm-sized video camera. When no one is looking, he's able to capture a few quick shots.
They're swimming in their own feces. And I think we counted 9 dolphins in one tank and 4 in the other. The tank that had no filtration was completely black. I mean, when the dolphins went underwater just an inch, you couldn't see them. Is this an aquarium or is this private or what is this?
It's private.
It's not a business?
No, sometimes we sold it for overseas.
Oh, for like aquarium. Yeah. Well, thanks. I'm gonna talk to the boss man about the boat.
Okay.
Well aware that he's about to be face-to-face with a dolphin dealer, Lincoln wisely sticks to his role of a tourist.
Is this boat rental or mechanical?
No. There's no...
Oh, no, I saw the sign from the hotel.
Yeah, I know.
It's finished. What time do they feed the dolphins? They feed them?
I love dolphins.
Okay, cool. Thank you. My name's Don.
Hey.
Cool. Thank you.
Hey.
No. Oh, I got it. Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
Asia.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you. Yeah. That was the dolphin dealer. Jackpot. totally thought the gig was up. He pointed right at the camera lens. He was pointing at the bracelet. I totally thought he had me. I was ready to pull the hell out of there. I mean, that's the most despicable thing I've ever seen. I don't think even in those conditions, I can't see them living more than a couple weeks. Get back to the hotel. Okay. We need to take this footage immediately and email it to my dad. I've never seen a clearer reason to confiscate dolphins.
How you doing?
Did you get that footage I just sent you?
I did. It's absolutely shocking.
Yeah, that's at a place that's about 2 blocks where I'm staying.
Looking at the video, I could actually smell it. They're all in the process of dying. That's what you're looking at.
I would say if I've ever seen an emergency, that would be it.
Yeah, I agree. Man, oh man, what a mess, what a mess. I got angry. This is so cruel and inhumane. I dropped everything I'm doing. It's such hard work. And so I'm always prepared to leave the same day I arrive. I had just gotten home from Los Angeles. My 5-year-old daughter made Lee. She was so excited. And I didn't have the heart to tell her, I'm leaving tomorrow, kid. I'm on my way.
I'll see you in a couple days.
With his father en route earlier than planned, Lincoln's recon mission reaches a critical juncture. His first meeting with dolphin dealer Chris Porter.
Today should be interesting. Today we're heading off into the heart of darkness. We're going with Porter to Malaita, where they do the dolphin hunting for the teeth. So for 3 days, I should be in the belly of the beast.
There's no village rabbit that lives in Hanyara.
No, correct.
During the course of several internet chats, Porter had proposed not just a meeting, but a fact-finding excursion, so Lincoln could learn about the dolphin villages firsthand. Rick has cautiously endorsed the trip.
Porter's been my arch enemy for so many years now that I wanted Lincoln to actually meet him, look him in the eye, and get to know him a little bit. I was hoping Lincoln could kind of pave the way for when I arrived, but I'm concerned about Lincoln going off into the jungle with this guy.
Hey, how are you? Good meeting you. Thanks for coming, because that's what should happen a long time ago. In 9 years, only I think 3 people ever asked me and Robert what we were doing.
Right.
They talked about it. They all had their ideas and their opinions, but only 3 people ever sat down and said, "Really, what are you doing?"
Chris,
I really love dolphins, or they would come. If all those 100 people really love dolphins.
Chris, to be honest with you, you have to be the first one to admit you have a track record, and you have to earn. You have to earn trust. You're a dolphin dealer.
Do you believe if people stop killing dolphins, that helps the dolphins?
If there's an alternative, of course it helps.
And if we stop the export, does that help the dolphins?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what we're working for. So let's all work together, get everyone together, and it will work.
Yeah, I've heard lots of rumors and accusations. He's a spin doctor, but I was really here just to learn and listen. I'm not here to accuse or point fingers.
The first leg of the journey is flying from Guadalcanal province across Iron Bottom Sound to the island of Malaita.
I'm not so much nervous being with him. It would just be more with the tribe that we're going to see, because their livelihood is hunting dolphins, and I don't want to be seen as a threat to that.
As a security precaution, Chief Robert Satu, Porter's partner, has agreed to come along.
We're dealing with tribes that only 2 generations ago were headhunters. So it's really a finesse thing, and just trying to hope that the tribe accepts us. And if they don't accept us, we're in big trouble, because we've got no backup system.
That's Malaita, the homeland, the land of dolphins.
The second stage of the journey is a 7-hour truck ride to the northern end of the island.
There's a lot of apprehension. obviously I'm an outsider coming into this place, and we potentially jeopardize their way of life and their way of making money.
The road trip finally ends at a small bay known as Lau Lagoon. From here, it's just a short boat ride to the first dolphin hunting villages.
This is the place I went 9 years ago for the talk about the dolphin culture.
Oh, really?
This island. These are the origin of the hunters here.
Lau Lagoon is about 12 miles long and peppered with tiny communities, each sitting on its own man-made coral island. Fish and dolphins are the main food source here, but dolphins are prized for more than just their meat. A villager explains.
Dolphin means wealth to these people because we hunt dolphin for the tooth. We bought the tooth as a valuable custom currency.
The most valuable teeth are from bottlenose dolphins, which ironically are also considered the best dolphins for captivity.
That's a bottlenose dolphin. The ducky first one. You know, the ones with heads? Yeah.
The most important customary use is for bride price, offering dolphin teeth as a dowry.
And how many teeth to get married?
1,000.
1,000?
Yes, 1,000 teeth.
To the family of the wife?
Yes.
Yes.
Dolphins are just ingrained in their culture. Some places where we go, it's just about the dolphins. This place, it's about the dolphins and the people, and it has to be treated equally.
Back on Malaita, Lincoln and Porter head to one of the major dolphin hunting villages, Batama.
So first guy who looks at the dolphin waves the flag. Yep.
Are they different colors? Immediately upon arriving, they just started bringing out bags and bags of dolphin bones, piling them up. I mean, I was sad to see these bones, but what can you say when you're there? These people have nothing. And so if they see a dolphin go by, this is something that could sustain the village possibly for weeks. You know, it's easy when you're in your office in New York City to tell them to stop. They really have absolutely nothing there.
I don't know how it affected Lincoln to see that they're struggling. Dolphins in a struggling community that lives on the sea is still a blessing. It's still their money. It's still their food. So you're talking about taking their food and taking their mony from them. How much?
Double 40.
Double 40. So 160, one dolphin, yeah? 160 Solomon dollars?
Yeah.
160 teeth.
In his mind, he's thinking he's helping the people by starting this export to bring money to them. When I see him walking around and walking through the villages, I think in his perception, he almost sees himself somewhat as a chief, because he wears the dolphin teeth.
Even if these fella no come for helping you, me still come visit you. Me bring another man, ask him for helping you. Keep bringing men to say, okay, who come help?
He really has an affinity for these people and really wants to help them. At least I hope that's what his intentions are. It's to be seen.
Good to see you again, brother. You thought I wasn't coming back, right?
So, Dad, how do you feel about going back to this country? There were all these threats against you last time.
I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. You know, we said we're coming back and we want to help them. And I think we now have a way to do that.
Rick has two main goals. Both are ambitious and politically delicate. First, assess the true intentions of dolphin dealer Chris Porter. And second, help broker no dolphin hunt agreements between the villages on Malaita and Earth Island Institute.
It's all about money and jobs. So the real solution is to find alternatives. How can we help the people on these islands? Create jobs, create money, and stop the dolphin hunt and the dolphin exports in that way.
Before tackling his primary missions, Rick wants to address the problem of the Honiara dolphins that Lincoln discovered during his recon. Rumor has it that the dolphins have started to die off since Lincoln's covert visit to the pens. But without an accurate body count and full documentation of any possible abuse, the animals can't be confiscated. Rick's arrival complicates the issue. Word travels very fast here, and it won't be long before everyone knows that Lincoln is Rick's son. So entering the facility a second time with hidden cameras is too risky.
So let me give you an overview of where we are right now. This would be a close-up of Honiara, and right here would be the dolphin pens.
Lincoln has both a plan and a new piece of equipment.
It'd be great if we could get in and do an aerial survey.
A tiny unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, known as a quad.
This particular one does actually beam back live footage, so we can have some screens up there for you as well.
So even if the camera, even if this got captured, we would still have the footage.
You have all the footage.
Wow,
yeah.
Awesome. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Michael comes from a company called CyberQuad out of Western Australia, and they mostly do military reconnaissance, and most of their missions are classified. I think this is the first time the UAV's been used for this type of application.
We did a test run at the U.S. War Memorial in Guadalcanal, and that was very, very moving because there was a time when there were Japanese machine guns up there just mowing down these young kids trying to get up that hill.
It's actually pretty amazing because it's unlike a helicopter, it just flies itself. Unlimited possibilities. You just tell it where you want it to go and it goes there.
Look at that. It's amazing. Oh, I'm really impressed. This is an incredible tool for someone like me who's trying to record things that they don't want you to record.
And can you try to keep the camera?
But to film the dolphin pens without being seen, the UAV must approach from open water. And shifting offshore winds could pose a problem. A second test is devised.
Nicely done. Well done, boys. That's good. I'll change batteries and we'll go again. The first mission I had was actually locating some dolphins, flying over the top of them, watching them in their habitat, and trying to get right up close and have a look.
Images from the unmanned camera are instantly transmitted to a tiny screen embedded in separate monitor goggles.
See if we can get these dolphins here. There they go. Nice. Yeah, come down low across the water. See where they are? Yeah. You go right down close to them.
I was filming the dolphins really, really well. They were perfectly in frame.
Yeah, right. Might as well just go for it. Go in low and see what happens. Yeah.
We were flying alongside them, and one of them dove underneath the water, and to keep it in frame, I descended with it.
That's it. Way to the top. Beautiful. That's the one.
Oh. What happened? I'm in the water.
For many of the wild dolphins in the Solomon Islands, the difference between freedom and captivity or slaughter might lie with Rick O'Barry. But the confrontation with the dolphin dealer is a stark reminder that Rick and his team are operating on a razor's edge.
He and his whole crew came to the hotel, but they were really pissed, basically threatening us to come out on the street and face them off. So it got pretty hairy. We had to call the police, and they were just telling us basically our safety wasn't guaranteed if we went outside the hotel.
There's a lot of tension here in these islands right now. There are people who are making a fabulous amount of money selling dolphins. People are watching us all the time. I would not walk down that sidewalk now after that threat.
The failure of the aerial surveillance forces Rick to adopt a new strategy for the Honiara Dolphins, one that involves reformed dolphin dealer Chris Porter.
I would like to get him to get the dolphins and bring them to his facility, where at least they are in natural seawater and there's a chance to heal them, and then see if we can free them.
Armed with little more than that idea and his own passion, Rick heads for Porter's dolphin operation on Gavutu Island.
I always feel uncomfortable in the presence of any dolphin dealer. I've had so much conflict in the last 40 years with dolphin dealers. I can feel that energy. I can feel these hidden deals. There's a hidden agenda here, and I'm not clear on what it is.
As Rick sets down on Gavutu, he hopes for the best, but is prepared for the worst. 4 years have passed since he's gone toe-to-toe with Chris Porter.
The last time Porter and I got together, we just clashed. We are opposites.
Thanks very much. I've been training animals for 17 years. I understand concerns for the animals.
Well, I've been working with them for 45 years, and I'm telling you, those dolphins are in dire straits, and they're in need of medical attention
in dire straits, I would be over there.
It wasn't pretty, and now I'm going back to his place and see him, and I hope he's changed. And I've got an open mind.
I know they've had it out, a couple shouting matches, a lot of back and forth with emails and battling, but there really hasn't been that face-to-face sit-down, and so much has changed here so quickly that, we don't know what's going to happen.
Hello.
Hi, Rick. Hey. Welcome to Dolphins Paradise.
In the next stage of the mission,
I think we're through.
Rick's summit with Chris Porter turns acrimonious.
He wants me to jump through some more hoops, so I'll go find my burning hoop and jump through it.
He's a guy who's paddled too far up the river.
But there are some serious obstacles beyond Porter. First, unknown forces orchestrate a campaign to keep the team away from the villages on Malaita. Then, one tribal leader issues a demand that Rick can never fulfill.
It will be cost $12 million a year.